very shy despite the fact that I do these really lewd performances. You know, I'm not good at approaching people and talking to them. And so to have to walk out in the street and ask people to come in and perform for me, it's really difficult.
So, what I'm asking you to do is either act out as if you're using the object that's written in the drawing, like whiskey flaskers, or if you are the object.
Okay, so this is an umbrella, a lamp, and a table, or all three.
Yeah, you can be as banal and static as you want. You can be as exaggerated and dramatic as you want.
Very dramatic.
You can be.
Kind of low key.
When I transitioned into this medium from being a painter, I was really insecure because I was dealing in new media and I never knew anything about that. Now I finally trust myself to allow someone to be the victim of my kind of investigations. Like, I didn't want to have people in my work when I thought my work was shit, when I was transitioning and I was figuring things out. There's an exchange that I think is worth having. You know, I feel like I can give them something beautiful in return.
Like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. Oh my God. The garden so you can see how I'm... Did you just make your hair more blonde?
I did, but a while ago.
It looks gorgeous.
I wanted to see if you want to try and get this done by December and included in Nada.
Of course.
I just feel you might want to.
I have so much work to do, it's insane. Having a lot of deadlines and a lot of shows and, you know, and I have an expectation of myself that's really sincere. It's not about like putting out air just for sale. Knowing when to stop, knowing when to say no. It's just all these rules that aren't written down for you and you have to figure it out yourself through trial and error. And I'm learning as I go, and I'm not the most organized person in the world. I don't do my taxes. Ooh. I'm moving to LMCC workspace on 1 Liberty Plaza. I mean, it's just like this, except for I have a cubicle, like in the office. Which is funny, because when I was a child, and I said I want to be an artist, I thought that you had a cubicle, like in a bank.
I think I was having a Charlie Brown day. I was like, ugh, what now? I'm going to LMCC.
I hate moving. It stresses me out.
And then
Oh, there he goes.
I got an email from someone's iPhone named Stuart Comer.
I'm Stuart Comer. I'm one of the 3 co-curators for the 2014 Whitney Biennial.
And then I opened it and it said, I would like to offer you an invitation to be in the Whitney Biennial. And I was like, what?
Jacolby clearly makes dazzling images. They're very seductive. But I do think Jacolby is one of the few artists that's managed to translate a digital approach and a digital aesthetic into something far more complex. It's not just technology for technology's sake. It's really embedded in many layers of intellectual and personal discovery and inquiry.
I am working on Reifying Desire 6 for the Whitney Biennial.
It's gonna have a long-winded, extremely detailed Baroque Hieronymus Bosch 24-minute procreating ritual where nests are being built and placenta sacs are being ripped from our bodies, and we're kind of like engaging in a very complicated intergalactic sexual display. And there's lots of impulsive perversions and strangeness. There have been so many museum shows where I turned in a piece and it wasn't what I envisioned, and I said, this is not going to happen for the Whitney Biennial. I am going to turn in what I envisioned, no matter what. But what happened, I was having to maintain this performance schedule and this appearance schedule and this show schedule, you know, spread all over the nation like peanut butter, but not able to make art. And I wanted to just animate. The closer I was getting and the more I was realizing, oh my God, I might not get my vision across, the higher my panic attack was. And the more I was staying up a little bit later, I had to find very neurotic ways of keeping myself going. I had to resort to Red Bulls, beers, and peanuts, and HBO Go, and Hulu Plus, and Netflix. And I had my sleeping bag and my jogging pants, and I would sleep on the floor. We'll never go home. I haven't been home in 2 months. It was so scary. I can't believe I got it done.
You can have ambition, but not too much.
I don't know if that's good, but thank you. Jacolby Satterwhite. Jacolby.
The biennial can really put somebody in a difficult position because there's so many people that want a piece of you the moment the show happens. And I think some artists are not ready for that yet, and their work is really brilliant, but they haven't completely gotten to the point where it's in their own voice. But Jacolby is there, and he's ready to take it all on. I think he's very, very ambitious.
And when I got to the opening, I was really sleep deprived, and I didn't feel human. I didn't feel like I was in my own flesh. I was nervous.
Thank you.
I wasn't performing, so I didn't have that shield. I think I made a piece that I felt represented who I am at the moment to my full capacity and my full ability. And so I really became self-conscious and hoping that the audience was engaging with my content fully. People kind of dismiss new media as this automated thing because a lot of people don't even know where to begin to think about how it's produced. But the thing is, I come from the discipline that is more primal or basic or fundamental, painting and drawing. There's construction, there's observation. Everything comes from scratch. The videos will never be a certain kind of polish, but I like the kind of DIY aesthetic of it because it feels immediate, and I feel like the formal properties pack a larger punch when they're just so hard edged in your face. It's doing what it's doing right there. I didn't even think I was ever gonna show at the Whitney in my life because I thought it was out of reach. And so I'm really grateful to be getting my work out there and for people to be appreciating me, and that's really wonderful. But at the same time, I want to get better. I want to keep pushing forward. I'm feeling like, okay, more ambitious, more stuff to do, more shows to accomplish. I want to wrinkle and get ugly and get fat from peanut allergies making my art.